Happy football week. It's a solo episode with me asking you 25 questions on Super Bowl history in this very special all sports edition of the podcast. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? And welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds, Southern California's best trivia host. That is on my license plate. It cost me $18 for the plastic frame, and I think it was well worth the purchase. Welcome to the show. We got 80-some episodes of this show for you to go back and listen to. Most recently, we did these mini episodes on Star Wars, The Simpsons, rhyming pairs, pop culture colors, and beer, which I have not been drinking the entire month of January. And this Thursday is February 1st, and I'm going to have 100 beers. I cannot wait. But I want you to go check out those episodes. The numbers were really good on the downloads, so I will definitely do some more mini episodes again very soon. And let me know if you dig the regular length episodes with guests or if you like the mini episodes. I think I'm going to start doing the full length episodes with guests where it's either me going one-on-one with somebody in some trivia, me interviewing somebody like Craig Bartlett, the creator of Hey Arnold, which was a really fun episode, or two of my friends battling and me kind of moderating it, which we do most of the time. Those will probably be like the Tuesday, 45-minute to an hour episodes. And I think I'm going to start doing a mini episode every Thursday as we start 2018 here. So let me know if you like that. The Thursday episodes, the mini episodes would just be pretty much trivia and usually between 10 and 15 minutes. So if you just want a little bit of something to kind of get your mind going, Thursdays will probably be what you're looking for, and Tuesdays will be more like the interview style show with some trivia thrown in. Football fans unite. I don't usually do any kind of sports trivia because I don't like writing it because I don't really watch any sports except wrestling. But I thought it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I did not get a chance to record an episode that I thought I would have done by this Tuesday. So I thought, you know what? Let's give the fans what they want. People like football. 1 billion people watch this thing every year. Let's do some Super Bowl trivia. And next week, we'll be diving back into the friend versus friend episode with my friends Jen Wojnar and Kara Rouse, who are both freelance TV producers. And they'll be talking about what they do, and they give me some amazing topics. So it's going to be a really fun episode with Jen and Kara. The 31st annual Royal Rumble was this past Sunday. If you like wrestling, you know I do. 2 Asian winners for the male Royal Rumble and the first ever women's Royal Rumble. The male winner was Shinsuke Nakamura, who was Japan's biggest prodigy for quite some time, and then he's over in WWE now, so he got his big title shot. He's going to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, which will be pretty sweet. That'll be a fun match. And then Asuka won the first women's Royal Rumble, and she's got the longest undefeated streak in WWE history. So that's kind of fun. And Ronda Rousey showed up at Royal Rumble. That was pretty cool. She pointed at the WrestleMania sign. That's pretty much all she did. She pointed at it like 4 times. I think they were like, just go out and keep pointing. And she followed that to a T. She was wearing Roddy Piper's leather jacket, which was kind of cool. And I guess Roddy's son, I forget his name, but I met him one time when I met Roddy out here in LA, gave her the jacket to wear. So that was kind of cool. And even if you're not a wrestling fan, I love when stuff like that, like a Ronda Rousey gets involved and then more people start talking about wrestling and asking about it and go, what's going on with these storylines? That's my favorite thing to do. When somebody goes, so why are they fighting each other? And I go, okay, here's what's going on. That's the best. We watched that over at my friend Jordan in Madison's house in Valencia, California. So shout out to Jordan and Madison. They'll be on the show very soon too. They gave me some other amazing topics, and we'll record that and get it posted very soon. You can follow Jordan on BS and Craft Beer, Blood, Sweat, and Craft Beer. That's BS and Craft Beer on Instagram. He posts a lot of cool workout-related stuff, beer-related stuff, and just kind of like man-child-related stuff. So if you fit that category and you listen to this show, I'm sure you'll like BS and Craft Beer. And we had this big fun event. It was called Brunch with Buds, a Sunday fun day at Pocock Brewing Company. So Jordan and company and a bunch of other people came out and played that. Thank you if you listen to the show and you came out and played that. That was tons of fun. My friend Nate Weatherup, great comedian and trivia host, came with me, and we had a bunch of fun playing like mini games and doing some different like song-related bingo things and some Cards Against Humanity style things, like in a bar setting, kind of hosting that. So we did 8 mini games, and it was tons of fun. And we'll be doing that the last Sunday of every month in Santa Clarita, California, Pocock Brewing Company. You could also play trivia with Nate Weatherup there every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. If you are a fan of what I do, I have some cool news for you. I am officially a business. I filed for an LLC at the end of 2017, and it got approved and all set up in January, and I got the bank account open. So I officially have With Buds Productions, LLC. I wanted it to be like a broad name in case I'm hosting trivia or doing a comedy show or finding clips for clip shows like I do sometimes, or marrying someone. I've officiated 5 weddings. So whatever you want to pay me to do, you can legally do it through With Buds Productions, LLC. So that's kind of a cool milestone for what I'm doing over here in Southern California. If you want to support the show, I've got some really cool woodworking gifts for you. Got some coasters, a set of 4 coasters with the Trivia with Buds logo on them, as well as a bottle opener with a big magnet that catches all the bottle caps. It has that same logo, the Trivia with Buds logo, with 2 beers clanking together. The logo was designed by my good friend Ed across the street on Instagram, Ed Brescia, and Jacob Cutting on Instagram. He's the woodworker who made that stuff. You can buy both things on triviawithbuds.com/online-store, or just click on store, and you can support the show that way. I'll ship them to you. You can get a deal if you buy both things, and if you live locally, I'll even deliver them to you and crack that first beer open and put it on the coaster with you. Here's another cool plug. If you like action figures and custom toys, there's a guy on Instagram named Dano Brown. You can follow him at Dano_Brown. He is a great custom toy maker. He put out this Lloyd Christmas orange Dumb and Dumber tuxedo custom toy. So he makes the box for it, the card backing, the bubble with the figure in it, and it's very detailed, looks great. He usually makes one of each thing, but you can see all his cool stuff. He has a great Billy D. Williams Colt 45 figure from the commercials, and he has a Little Monsters figure he just put up of the monster that Howie Mandel plays from the Fred Savage movie Little Monsters. So go and check out Dano Brown if you like that kind of stuff. And if you like action figures of the wrestling variety, check out the Fully Posable podcast. My buddies Jeff and Scott Toon put out that show every Sunday. And if you're looking for wrestling action figure news, there is no better source than Fully Posable. They have a brand new t-shirt out that was made with the fans in mind. So if you listen to that show and you listen to my show, definitely get their brand new t-shirt. It's very, very cool. And other friends and past guests of the show, Breaker and Bane, they have a show called the Breaker and Bane Power Hour. They are a rapper and a pro wrestler living in Oklahoma, and I urge you to go check them out. Breaker and Bane Power Hour, also up every Sunday. We're going to dive into this episode where I'm asking you 25 questions on the Super Bowl. What is happening? Have I bumped my head? Let's find out. Here we go. All right, here we go, everybody. There's a cricket, just so I'm warning you before we start this episode. There's a cricket kind of hopping very close to my foot. So there's a chance I might have to fight a cricket at some point during this recording. Just put that out there for all the listeners. There's some cricket problems going on. I'm going to name them Jiminy. Here we go. This is Super Bowl trivia question number 1. Who was the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls? Who was the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls? Question number 2. What player has scored 7 touchdowns in 3 Super Bowls? What player has scored 7 touchdowns in 3 Super Bowls? Question number 3. Who was the first team to win 5 Super Bowls? Question number 3. Who was the first team to win 5 Super Bowls? Question number 4. Which Jets quarterback, when asked if he preferred grass or artificial turf, replied, "I don't know. I've never smoked artificial turf"? Which Jets quarterback, when asked if he preferred grass or artificial turf, replied, "I don't know. I never smoked artificial turf"? Question number 5. Who did Green Bay play in the first ever Super Bowl? Question 5. Who did Green Bay play in the first ever Super Bowl? Question number 6. The lowest amount of points scored in a Super Bowl was 3 points. From what team against the Dallas Cowboys in 1972? Here's that question again. Number 6. The lowest amount of points scored in the Super Bowl was 3 points. From what team against the Dallas Cowboys in 1972? Question number 7. Due to concerns of terrorism after 9/11, what Super Bowl staples were grounded during the game that year? Question number 7. Due to concerns of terrorism after 9/11, what Super Bowl staples were grounded during the game that year? Question number 8. Steve Christie had the longest field goal in Super Bowl history. Was it 49 yards, 54 yards, or 69 yards? Question number 8. Steve Christie had the longest field goal in Super Bowl history. Was it 49 yards, 54 yards, or 69 yards? Question number 9. The Super Bowl is notorious for Americans eating the second most food on a holiday all year. What is the number one food eating holiday? Question number 9. The Super Bowl is notorious for Americans eating the second most food on a holiday all year. What is the number one food eating holiday? Question number 10. What supermodel starred in a tantalizing Diet Pepsi commercial in 1992? Question number 10. What supermodel starred in a tantalizing Diet Pepsi commercial in 92? Question number 11. Name any 2 out of the 4 teams who have never reached the Super Bowl. Question number 11. Name any 2 out of the 4 teams who have never reached the Super Bowl. Question number 12. What year was the famous Justin Timberlake-Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction? Question number 12. What year was the famous Justin Timberlake-Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction? Question number 13. What team has had the most losses in a Super Bowl? Question 13. What team has had the most losses in a Super Bowl? Question number 14. The Vince Lombardi Trophy is made by what jewelry outfit? Question number 14. The Vince Lombardi Trophy is made by what jewelry outfit? Question number 15. Who is the only quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl for 2 different teams? Question 15. Who is the only quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl for 2 different teams? Question 16. Ravens player Matt Stover holds the record for oldest player in a Super Bowl. What position did he play at age 42? Question 17. Who is the only player who has returned a kickoff for a touchdown in a Super Bowl game? Question 17. Who's the only player who has returned a kickoff for a touchdown in a Super Bowl game? Question number 18. According to Forbes, Super Bowl watchers will consume 1.33 billion what on Super Bowl Sunday? Question number 18. According to Forbes, Super Bowl watchers will consume 1.33 billion what on Super Bowl Sunday? Question number 19. What costumed animals hilariously joined Katy Perry at the Super Bowl 49 halftime show? Question number 19. What costumed animals hilariously joined Katy Perry at the Super Bowl 49 halftime show? Question number 20. Name either team involved in the only blackout in Super Bowl history. Question 20. Name either team involved in the only blackout in Super Bowl history. Question number 21. About how much do Super Bowl rings cost? Is it $5,000, $10,000, or $50,000? Question 21. About how much do Super Bowl rings cost? Is it $5,000, $10,000, or $50,000? Question number 22. Phil Simms, winning player of Super Bowl 21, was the first to say what magical phrase? Question number 22. Phil Simms, winning player of Super Bowl 21, was the first to say what magical phrase? Question number 23. Who has the record for most completions in a row, throwing 16 passes? Question number 23. who has the record for most completions in a row, throwing 16 passes in a Super Bowl? Question number 24, Super Bowl 14 had the largest attendance ever at 103,000 people. What California landmark was it held at? Question number 24, Super Bowl 14 had the largest attendance ever at 103,000 people. What California landmark was it held at? And question number 25, 72 what are used every Super Bowl game? Question number 25, 72 what are used every Super Bowl game? All right, we're going to hear a couple bars of music just to break up the questions and answer segment. So let's listen to that music and then we'll dive into the answers. All right, here we go. We got the answers to your 25 Super Bowl questions on this very sporty edition of the Trivia with Buds podcast. Question number 1, who was the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls? The answer was Bart Starr, Bartstarr, an extra R in there rather than just having the one R like you would in the star in the sky. Bart Starr was the MVP of the first 2 Super Bowls. I read this too, that the first 2 Super Bowls weren't even called the Super Bowl. They were just like the big game or something. And then Super Bowl III was the first Super Bowl that coined the phrase Super Bowl. So that's kind of a little extra trivia for you. Question number 2, what player had scored 7 touchdowns in 3 Super Bowls? That was All-Star Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice has scored 7 touchdowns in 3 different Super Bowls. Question number 3, who was the first team to win 5 Super Bowls? The San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers. I don't know why, probably because it was on sale, but I don't even know why they really had it in Chicago. My mom had to really probably find it somewhere, but she bought me a 49ers jacket in like 4th or 5th grade, and I wore it for a couple years. It was like my winter jacket, and people would be like, who's your favorite player? And I would be like, Hulk Hogan, and then I'd walk away. Question number 4, which Jets quarterback, when asked if he preferred grass or artificial turf, replied, I don't know, I never smoked artificial turf. The answer was Joe Namath, old timer. I don't even know if he's probably not alive anymore, is he? Who knows? Joe Namath. Number 4, Jets quarterback, he loves pot. Joe Namath. Can't get enough of that grass. Number 5, who did Green Bay play in the first ever Super Bowl? Kansas City Chiefs was the answer. The Kansas City Chiefs against Green Bay. Green Bay won that first Super Bowl. I do know that. That's a popular trivia question. Question number 6, the lowest amount of points scored in a Super Bowl was 3. From what team against the Dallas Cowboys in 1972? It was the Miami Dolphins. The old Dolphins. Big part of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. That's how I connect things. Number 7, due to concerns of terrorism after 9/11, what Super Bowl staples were grounded during the game that year? I was looking for blimps. Blimps. They didn't want any blimps in the sky in case somebody decided to shoot a rocket at them or out of them, I guess. No blimps in the sky. Blimps, every time I see it in writing, makes me think of Blimpie subs, which are very mediocre. If you like Blimpie subs and you think they're the best sandwich, you are wrong. Here's question number 8. Steve Christie had the longest field goal in Super Bowl history. Was it 49 yards, 54 yards, or 69 yards? The answer was 54 yards for Steve Christie. That's pretty damn far for a kick, and it is the record, 54 yards. Number 9, the Super Bowl is notorious for Americans eating the second most food on a holiday all year. What is number 1? For food-eating holidays, it's, of course, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. I know a lot of you probably eat a lot on Boxing Day, but I was looking for Thanksgiving. Question number 10, what supermodel starred a tantalizing Diet Pepsi commercial in 92? The answer was Cindy Crawford. My brother Scott, a guest on the show, twice I think now, he had a Cindy Crawford in a yellow bathing suit poster that he probably got at the mall, maybe Spencer Gifts or something like that. And we shared a room at the time, and it was 3 of us sharing a room. So it was me and my 2 older brothers who are 10 and 12 years older than me. So I was, let's say I was 8 and one was 18 and the other was 20. There was a couple posters in the wall. There was Michael Jordan for my oldest brother, Tom. There was Cindy Crawford for my my next brother, Scott. And then there was like a nice, let's see, when I was 8, I must have probably had a Ninja Turtles poster. I was going to say Limp Bizkit or Korn, but that must have been 4 or 5 years later. But yeah, it was probably Ninja Turtles on the wall for me. And that's how we lived. That's how we grew up. But yeah, Cindy Crawford in that Diet Pepsi commercial. I have not been drinking any soda this month in my dry January journey as well. And I really enjoy soda almost as much as beer. So that's been tough too. And every time I see certain cans of things, I'm like, oh, that's going to be so good in February. A nice Dr. Pepper, a nice Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy. I do like Coke. I love cherry Coke. That's what I'm excited about. A nice cherry Coke at the old movie theater. This is question number 11. Name any 2 out of the 4 teams who have never reached the Super Bowl. You had to name any 2 of these 4. Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, and the Detroit Lions. Man, Detroit's got a lot of hard breaks, right? Number 12, what year was the famous Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction? It was the year of 2004. I hadn't met my wife yet. I was just graduating high school. And I probably had some frosted tips and maybe a cartilage ring. Ooh, those were bad times. 2004, Justin Timberlake whipping that boob out. Still don't see what the big deal was. People blew that out of proportion. Number 13, what team has had the most losses in a Super Bowl? That's the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos. Question 14, the Vince Lombardi Trophy is made by what jewelry outfit? That's, of course, Tiffany and Company. That's the blue box. I wonder if it comes in a giant blue box. I bet they do, like a big giant vertical blue box, and then they unveil the trophy. That would be nice, Tiffany and Company. It's $25,000 for that trophy. That's what I read. Number 15, who is the only quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl for 2 different teams? Peyton Manning. Oh, what a quarterback, huh? Peyton Manning. Someone told me one time I look like Peyton Manning, I think. Or Eli Manning. I'm not sure. One of the Mannings. I was doing a comedy show, and the headliner brought me and the host up, and he goes, hey, look, it's Peyton and Eli Manning. And everybody laughed, and I went, all right, Hulk Hogan. And then I stepped off stage. Number 16, Ravens player Matt Stover holds the record for oldest player in a Super Bowl. What position did he play? He was the kicker, 42 years old, in the Super Bowl, kicking balls. Matt Stover. Number 17, who is the only player who has returned a kickoff for a touchdown in a Super Bowl game. I remember watching this in 2007 or 8, I think it was. It was the Chicago Bears player Devin Hester, and he ran that touchdown back, and we were jumping up and down in Macomb, Illinois, at Western Illinois University, and we had rented this house for 2 years, and everybody jumping up and down made a giant crash in our basement. And we're like, what was that? And there was some kind of big piece of glass like hidden in the rafters of our basement that we never knew about. And when we jumped up and down, it came out and shattered. So that was very interesting. And most recently, Devin Hester, he lives in Orlando, right by my brother Scott. And my brother Scott got to catch, I think, 1 or 2 fly balls in a softball game against Devin Hester. So he was just like playing on one of the teams against my brother's team, and he was very excited about that. So that was kind of cool. Not too many people that could probably say they caught Devin Hester's fly ball, right? Number 18, according to Forbes, Super Bowl watchers will consume 1.33 billion chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday. That's a lot of goddamn chicken wings. 1.33 billion, which means 2.66 billion chickens, right? Because 2 wings per chicken. Does that make sense? No. 2 wings per chicken. I don't know how to do math, but you do, and you could figure out how many chickens that is. Question number 19. What costumed animals, hilariously joined Katy Perry at the Super Bowl 49 halftime show? Sharks. She was dancing with a bunch of shark assholes in shark asshole costumes. Number 20. Name either team involved in the only blackout in Super Bowl history. It was the Ravens or the 49ers. I think it was 2013 Ravens or 49ers. Question number 21, about how much do Super Bowl rings cost? $5,000, $10,000, or $50,000? It was the first choice, $5,000. Maybe you chose real high, but it was the lowest amount there, which is still a bunch for a ring. $5,000. Number 22, Phil Simms, winning player of Super Bowl 21, was the first to say what magical phrase? I'm going to Disney World. And I don't remember reading, is this like a thing that he just said because he was so excited and he wanted to take his family there? Or did they pay him to say it? I think they probably paid him to say it. Or maybe he said it naturally, and then they started paying players to say it because they're like, oh, that was a pretty good ad. I'm not sure. Number 23, who has the record for most completions in a row, throwing 16 passes? That's, of course, Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Number 24, Super Bowl 14 had the largest attendance ever at 103,000 people. What California landmark was it held at? The Rose Bowl. Take that, U2. U2 just played there not too long ago, and I'm sure they didn't have 103,000 people. Number 25, 72. What are used every Super Bowl game? 72 footballs and 72 virgins. No, that's not the case. 72 footballs are used every Super Bowl game, and hashtag Deflategate. Does that fit there? I don't know. Go Sports. Those were the answers to your 25 Super Bowl questions. Hope you did well. Hope you had fun playing along with the rare appearance of all sports trivia on this podcast. We got lots of fun stuff happening here weeks to come, including some great categories next week with my friends Jen and Kara. And we got a cool announcement coming up. If you live near Upland, California, we're going to be doing a live Saturday night trivia show. It's going to be the three biggest topics we've ever done: Disney and Star Wars and Marvel trivia. It's going to be like 2 or 3 hours long. It's going to be like a no phones at all type scenario. And it's going to be very competitive for some amazing Disney prizes. And when I say amazing, I mean like hundreds of dollars in value. So this will be a ticketed event, and you'll be able to buy tickets at the door, and you'll also be able to buy them a little bit cheaper on my website. And we'll be capping it at 100 players total. So this is the first time I'm going to be doing something like this. It'll be in March or April, and I think you will really enjoy it if you live in Southern California and love the nerdiness of the Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel franchises. That's it for this episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. Rate, review, and subscribe. Tell a friend about the show if you know somebody that likes trivia or listening to it on their commute, or when they're stuck somewhere, or when they're on a road trip playing along with a buddy or a spouse or a partner. Email me at ryanbuds@gmail.com if you leave a review so I can send you something nice in the mail. That's all I got for you on this week. We'll see you next week for more fun. And maybe this Thursday, I'll put out another mini episode. Who knows? But I think that'll be the new schedule. Full episode on Tuesday, mini episode on Thursday. Thanks for listening, rating, reviewing, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time on the Trivia with Buds podcast. Bye-bye.